Hello everyone, my name is Karina and this is my perfume map. Today I wanted to talk about big name perfumers who have made perfumes that maybe don't bring in as high of a price. So you can get a good deal on these perfumes. And it's the same perfumer, and sometimes the fragrances are familiar, sometimes they're totally different than what they might be known for right now. But I think that this is a fun way to blind buy. If you're interested in blind buying and you know of a perfume that you really want, you can always look up the perfumer. Most of the time it's on Fragrantica, or you can look other places, I'm sure, and you can find that they've made perfumes for other companies, or maybe they made some perfumes 10 years ago and you can get a really good price. So the first one I'm going to talk about is probably the most obvious and probably the one that everybody knows, and that is Elizabeth Arden Green Tea Scent Spray, which you can find all the time almost at any Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Ross, the drugstore. I think this is the smaller bottle. I think this is a 1.7. It is 50 mils. And I believe that I paid less than $10 for this. And the perfumer behind this is Francis Kurkdijan. And Francis Kurkdijan right now is most well known probably for Baccarat Rouge 540. He's been the perfumer behind tons and tons and tons of perfumes. I just wanted to show this because that is how low we are now on this big old 200 ml bottle. And if you've never seen the full presentation, this is a fragrance that I want to say this probably got me into fragrances really in the way that I am right now, because I heard so much about it and I ordered a sample. I don't know if I had ever ordered a sample of a perfume before. And I wore that sample actually to a trip to Disney World. The 2 ml lasted me the whole week-long trip. I also learned that this is probably the fragrance of Walt Disney World. If you go, you will smell it many times. It will be in every restaurant, every lounge. You will really get to know it by the time you leave Walt Disney World. That's actually the only place I've ever smelled this in the wild, if you can believe that or not. Beautiful, amazing, jasmine, amber, earthy, life-enhancing fragrance. I think it's the fragrance of our time. My husband's hitting it real hard. This is our second bottle. The first bottle was the other one that's like a 75 mLs, I think. I mean, yeah, and I asked, what does he want to do when he runs out? And he said, find me a deal. So we'll be getting that again. Anyway, that's just to kind of remind everybody of who we're talking about. But green tea actually smells very, very similar to Aqua Media Forte, which is a fragrance that MFK is selling currently. This is a fresh, almost lemony, clean, sporty, sweet, pleasing, it's almost impossible not to like fragrance. This one by Elizabeth Arden is not the most long lasting. It also kind of smells a lot better in the heat. If you wear this working out, it really comes to life. If you're wearing this in the hot sun, it really comes to life. But it's beautiful. And it is the perfumer's Francis Kurkdijan, so you should buy it. I think you should buy it. The next one that I want to show you with Francis Kurkdijan behind the fragrance is Gloria Vanderbilt Reverie. This is not one I've ever heard anybody else talk about. The perfumers are actually Francis Kurkdijan and Christine Nagel. This is not being made, I don't believe, anymore, but you can still get this 1 ounce bottle for less than $30 on eBay and maybe other places, I don't know. It's not on FragranceNet. And I love this so much. I bought this last year it's so, I don't want to pull up the notes. I'm just going to tell you that if you're into that like baby doll head smell, you should get this. This reminds me of Stella McCartney Pop, but like way elevated, like way more mature. It has this sweet airiness. I think this is from 1999. Oh my gosh. It has like a plastic baby doll head, some kind of florals, like a tonka bean vanilla. These two perfumers, well, we know about Frances Kurkdijan, right? But Christine Nagel has been a perfumer for Hermes. She's made perfumes for Cartier, Miss Dior Cherie. She's made perfumes for Etat Libre d'Orange. Like, this is somebody who's made a lot of perfumes that you've probably heard of and probably love. And there's just this one by Gloria Vanderbilt out there that's a beautiful, sweet, I think well ahead of its time perfume. And if you can still get a bottle of it, like, go for it. The next one I want to talk about, and this is like really timely because just yesterday, this perfumer, Henri Blanc, was on the Perfume Room with Emma. I've talked about that podcast several times, and I highly recommend you go listen to that episode because she sheds so much light on what it means to be a master perfumer. So Henri Blanc made Twilight Woods for Bath & Body Works. Henri Blanc is a master perfumer. And some of the things that she said during this interview, which you should go listen to on the Perfume Room, was that a master perfumer, one of the things they have to do is they have to make fragrances kind of like across several like tier levels. Like they're making body sprays, they might be making soaps, they might be making niche, they might make designer. Like they have to do a lot of different types of fragrances to earn that recognition of being a master perfumer. And there aren't that many currently recognized as a master perfumers. Like there might be 30 or 40. And she made this, Twilight Woods for Bath & Body Works. And she actually mentioned that this is a client that she likes working for, which means that like this Bath & Body Works is having master perfumers make their things. Not all of their things, but a lot. And that's why I always say this is the value. This is where you go to get the deals is Bath & Body Works. Don't worry about spending a ton of money because you can get these for $5 on a sale. So this Twilight Woods, let's see, lush berries, sparkling mandarin, soft mimosa, apricot nectar, cypress wood. This is like a woody fragrance, but very sweet and soft and super feminine. There was a time early winter where I wore this like several days in a row, and I don't usually do that. And I wore it with the Twilight Woods what is it? The body cream. Not just the lotion, but you know, the thicker cream. And it's such a nice, pleasant, long-lasting, feminine, classy scent. Henri Blanc on this podcast episode I talked about, she really likes to make very feminine perfumes from a very feminine perspective. So I don't know, she's pretty fascinating, and she likes making stuff for Bath & Body Works, and Twilight Woods is like a long-standing fragrance mist. I think they have a perfume too. I haven't smelled that, but it's so nice. It smells so quality. Like you're not gonna feel like you're getting second best wearing this or anything. This is great. So she's made stuff for Kilian, Gucci, Born to Stand Out, Jimmy Choo, La Perla, Lancome, YSL. The next one I want to talk about is actually Tabu. Now, you're like, Karina, there's no like current perfumer who made Tabu. Well, you'll be surprised to find out that this current formulation of Tabu is actually done by Sophia Grossman. Tabu's been around for a long time, but at some point it got reformulated, probably because the old ingredients weren't available or there was like new restrictions put on them. But this one has been reformulated by Sophia Grossman. And Sophia Grossman, I don't know if she is currently considered a master perfumer, but she definitely has been in the past, because she has, again, perfumes across the board, so many different kinds of perfumes, and definitely like a style. So while you're not going to see her name on this, if you do a little digging, you can find the same articles I found that she did the reformulation on this. And this is a beautiful, spicy amber fragrance. It's definitely old school because it has like a, almost like a, there is kind of a Coca-Cola vibe on top of like a very animalic, musky smell. And that animalic, musky smell, I think that people don't recognize as much today. It has kind of like a, it's going to sound weird, but it almost has like a saliva vibe. Like your skin got licked and then sprayed with like a Coke, like a Coca-Cola oil. But it's this is very long lasting. It smells really good on skin. It smells unique. It smells sweet. I think you'd really like it. Now, Sophia Grossman has made a lot of fragrances that are available right now for not too much money, but there's still some on the market that I think still sell pretty well and are pretty expensive. My favorite from her, I think, is, I don't know if this is my favorite. My favorite actually might be Perry Ellis 360, which is also very inexpensive. But when I'm trying to be fancy, this YSL Paris fragrance is by Sophia Grossman. She also made Trésor Lancôme. I think that's one that a lot of people know. But this one is a very, this is a very rosy, kind of lipsticky, powdery. It's like a bouquet of roses and other flowers. It's just, I think she was trying to do like a Paris in the springtime. I read an article that said that she went to Paris for like a month just to research how to make this fragrance. The smell of Paris. So nice. It's such like a nice kind of cold cream smell, a makeup smell, a flower smell. Very, very feminine. Anyway, Sophia Grossman, perfumer that makes perfumes across the board. And just look it up on Fragrantica. You can click on the perfumer's name and see everything they've made. All right. The next one I want to talk about is Dominique Ropion. Dominique Ropion keeps coming up, I think, in perfume videos, podcasts, because he's a master perfumer. And I think the one people talk about the most is Portrait of a Lady by Frederic Malle. But he's made stuff for Amouage, BDK, Frederic Malle, Dior, Gucci, Lancôme. But he also made JLo Live. So JLo Live is, I think, about $15 for a full bottle right now. Yeah, 3.4 ounces. And this fragrance is sort of new to me, so I can't tell you exactly how I feel about it, but it has like a tropical fruit, soapy, woody smell. I can't quite describe it yet. It's very much like a designer bubble bath kind of smell. But I mean, this perfumer's fragrances right now are hot, like super hot and very expensive. I mean, we're talking like hundreds of dollars for 50 mils. So being able to get a full bottle, 100 mils for like $15, you can check out the perfumer and just see if you kind of like maybe the way they blend things. Maybe you can pick out ingredients that they seem attracted to. The reason why it's a good idea, in my opinion, to buy these less expensive fragrances by well-known perfumers is they may be using the exact same ingredients. If they're buying if they're using ingredients from a major fragrance manufacturer, like it just doesn't matter if it's Frederick Malle or Elizabeth Arden. That's who, I'm pretty sure Elizabeth Arden does the JLo fragrances. It's all coming from the same factory. It's kind of like vitamins, you know. A long time ago, I used to sell vitamins at a health food store, and all of the raw ingredients are coming from it was 3 manufacturers. And I know that because I used to have to go to a vitamin manufacturer, not a manufacturer, the vitamin company, say Nature's Way. I went to Nature's Way for 3 days. I think that's who it was, in Utah, to learn everything about their line. And yeah, they're all the raw ingredients are coming from the same place. It's pretty similar. It's the same situation with perfumes right now. There's a few houses that aren't doing that, but most of them are. And if Frederick Malle is owned by, I think they're owned by Estee Lauder. If I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to educate you. I'm just saying that, there's big umbrella companies and they get the ingredients from the same place. It's really important to look at the perfumer, because then that's how you can check out the artistry of a perfume. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. So anyway, Dominique Ropion Made Live by Jennifer Lopez. All right, the next one is Rodrigo Flores Rue, who is talked about a lot lately because he makes perfumes. Mostly I hear about it because of Arquiste, but he's also made Tom Ford fragrances, Dolce & Gabbana, Commodity. This is so sorry that I forgot to wear my glasses. It's Peace and Love and Juicy Couture. I think that's what it is. This is a tiny little 1/4 ounce bottle that I paid $6 for on eBay. It's a little roller ball. And this is by Rodrigo Flores Rue. I like this fragrance quite a bit. In fact, as soon as I wore it, I'm going to put a little bit on. It's a green floral fragrance, and what it reminded me of right away is not by the same perfumer, but something that's really hard to get is Lauren by Ralph Lauren. I got lucky with this bottle. I jumped on it when somebody listed it. I probably bought it within minutes of them listing it, and they sold it to me for $40, but this is about $200 right now on eBay, and it's better than this one. It is. It's richer, and but it's $200. It's the same. It's very similar. This is a lighter, fresher version of this one. And I think really worth checking out. And Rodrigo has done fragrances that are much, much more expensive. So the fact that he's making stuff for Juicy Couture, or did, check it out. The other one Rodrigo created that is easily available and still pretty popular is Hidden Fantasy. Britney Spears' Hidden Fantasy. A lot of celebrity scents have big name perfumers behind them. They work across the board. So this Fantasy Flanker, a lot of people will say that they don't think it reminds them at all of the original. I think it does. It just has a lot more orange, and it has clove. So it is very festive. It's very hidden. I wonder why it's Hidden Fantasy. It smells more like a Christmas party or it's fruity, it's spicy, it definitely has a note of orange, but it's a good orange. Sometimes citrus, the orange note, can smell like air freshener to me, like a bathroom orange spray. But very nice, $20, big perfumer, little perfume price. And don't knock the Britney Spears line until you try it. I mean, some of them smell a little bit obnoxious on first spray, but I find that they wear really nice. And they're very uplifting fragrances. Very like, there's nothing like sad or morose about a Britney Spears fragrance. So that can play like a nice role in your perfume wardrobe. Okay, the next one I bought this one, Avon Faraway Gold, because the perfumer behind it is, I hope I'm saying her name right, Khalees Becker, who created Love Don't Be Shy. And that's just a fragrance that I'm always, I don't know, like there's something about that one that I sort of want. And I have an oil perfumery dupe that I really, really enjoy. But what stops me from going for it with that one is it just has a reputation of having pretty weak longevity. This Faraway Gold, it has it's like a lemon, it's like a lemon vanilla, which that's a pretty popular combination right now. It's like but it's really good. It's got kind of a vintage vanilla vibe, and if you know what I mean by that, some of the older vanilla perfumes are more of like a vanilla lotion and less gourmand. This is like right on the edge of both. It's almost gourmand, but it's still kind of a vintage perfume smelling. It wasn't made a long time ago though. I think this is from like 2015. It's funny how these even have the same little, well, not actually, Love Don't Be Shy doesn't have a tassel, but you know, the Perfume de Marly fragrances all have this tassel, and like, so do the Avon fragrances. Avon's really good for finding cheap perfumes made by big name perfumers. For some reason, this might just be a company that attracts talent because they treat them well. But Avon Faraway Gold, especially if you're interested in kind of a creamy lemon pastry, but not quite so gourmand. You know, Devotion is really popular right now, but it's a little much for me. It's like a little too lemon cake for me. You should check this out. I think I paid $14 for this bottle, and this is easily available on eBay or other places. And the very last one that I have is Amethyst by Lalique. And this one is meaningful to me because I did not like this perfume when I first bought it, and this perfume kind of caused me to do a 180 on a certain fragrance type. When I got this, I thought it was too body washy, too almost like a bitter like I have this thing about berries in fragrances sometimes, that they can kind of smell like chewed gum to me, like not fresh. And I felt that way about this one at first, but within a couple of wears, I completely flipped the switch. Like, this is a beautiful, berry, clean, soapy fragrance. And the perfumer is Natalie Lorson, who created like a very similar perfume for Perfumes de Marly, Meloria, which I haven't smelled, but people compare this one all the time, and it's the same perfumer, and I believe I paid $24 for this. She also makes perfumes for Amouage and lots of other big name companies, but you should really check out Amethyst. I think a lot of Lalique fragrances smell more expensive than they are. Yeah, and it's just a good one. This one is, I love this perfume. Anyway, I know that was like a lot of stuff. I just kind of wanted to give a smattering of like what you can get from big name perfumers that isn't expensive, and that it's a fun way to look into perfumes. And this is like nothing. This is like tip of the iceberg of what's out there and available. Just go on Fragrantica, click on a perfumer you're interested in, and look at everything they made. Almost everybody has something that's inexpensive. The newer the perfumer, the less there's going to be, but they're still there. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.